I think it's very important to also not personalize feedback. So meaning that if you're addressing a group of people, let's say a team as a whole, you really want to be able to separate the issue from the human being. So meaning that there can be inconsistencies around attention to detail or quality control, or whatever issue that you may be experiencing at your firm, but you can separate that and say, hey, here's an area where we need improvement. And you back it up with the data of saying, well, last year this time, here's what the numbers look like, or last quarter, here's what it looked like. This is what it looks like now. Obviously, this is not trending in the right direction, but then here's how we're going to go about it, right? Let's say you're delivering the feedback and you've actually already determined a plan, or let's say you don't even have a plan. You can open it up to feedback of saying, well, here's how we're trending. I'd love feedback on how we can improve this. And now you can actually have people taking ownership in the solution itself, because people may have some ideas once you present that data. So I would not personalize the feedback of saying that like you guys are effing up, or you guys don't care, or you're not doing a good job, because all that's going to happen is they're either going to they're going to hear it, but they're not going to really listen. Then they're going to come out and they're going to go on a walk. They're going to have a meeting after that and saying like how unreasonable you are. Then they're going to come home and tell their spouse what a piece of shit you are. And then they're going to come back and they're not going to be any more engaged in the solution itself. But if instead you can say, hey, we're not moving in the right direction. Here's an area for growth. I'd love your support with this. If you have a plan, you lay out a strategy. If you don't have a plan, you ask for that feedback. But you can also tie it back to what the vision of the firm is, what's in it for them to be able to get on track and get things right. And then you also have to have an action plan after this meeting to reinforce that behavior change is taking place. So you can't just say, hey guys, we're doing a bad job, do better, and then leave the room. You have to ultimately say, here's an area where we need to improve. Here's what the data shows. This is what we're going to do that's going to be different, that helps us move in the right direction. And we're going to meet again, let's say a week from now, with new data. And we're going to see if we're moving in the right direction. We can continue to reinforce this. And the reason why that's important is because if we get this right, this moves us in the right direction and allows us to offer better benefits at the firm, and allows us to be able to offer pay increases, like being able to offer new career paths, etc. And then also being open to feedback yourself of saying, where can I do better? Because I like to go into these situations because it's the reality of it. Like everything is always rises and falls on leadership of what am I failing to do that, am I failing to support you? Do you guys not have the resources that you need? Do you not have the clarity that you need? Sometimes people they're not doing what they're doing well because they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do it well. And maybe there's not a process around it. Maybe it's just variable, right? So it's being open to asking for, what can I do better as a leader, and coming in with that humility, and either they'll tell you, and then there's always going to be people that, you'll say you deliver this feedback to, you say you do everything right, and the behavior still doesn't change. Well, that's an awesome opportunity to be able to have a conversation individually with those people to determine if they are actually truly committed to being an engaged member of the firm and supporting the growth goals of the firm. And maybe they're not. And maybe it can be a relief to just, allow them to seek employment elsewhere.